Essentially, marketing ethics is doing the right thing. So most marketers are ethical, but there are some instances where marketers have behaved unethically. And usually when we think about marketers behaving unethically, it usually falls under the umbrella of a couple different areas. So the first one is when a marketer intentionally tries to be dishonest about something regarding the product. An example of this would be when Lancome, about maybe 10 years ago, had an ad campaign with Julia Roberts, and they were using an anti-wrinkle cream, and they airbrushed her face to make her look much younger. And the cream obviously couldn't do that, and so there were some marketing implications behind that for consumers, thinking that the cream could indeed make them look years younger. Another example would be when Splenda came out with a campaign, and essentially what they said in the campaign was made from sugar so it tastes like sugar. And they did a little research into it, and in fact, really there wasn't anything natural about the product, and so there were some marketing implications that came along with that. Then the last one is when we're not completely upfront with consumers about how the product or service is going to be used. And another example of this that's occurred recently was with Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat not being completely transparent about how consumers' data will be used when they use those products or services. There aren't that many marketers really that spam people repetitively anymore, and in fact that's when they do, it's considered an ethical implication. But unfortunately it still does happen, and it gives marketers a bad name. So with this additional access to data, there comes ethical questions that come into play. And one of the issues I think that we're going to see is that the laws haven't caught up with where social media data privacy has gone. And so we're going to see a lot of questions in the future regarding what's ethical, what can be stored. And also I think we'll see a lot more hacking of information. So all of the different texts or posts that you've made on your friends' walls or things like that, all of that could potentially be hacked. And so who owns the data? Is it Facebook or is it the individual? All these questions will come into further light, I think, in the future. Additionally, too, there's also been some research that's been done that's looked at how social media posts can affect mood. And there's an experiment that was done maybe about 5 years ago by Facebook, and they found that they could actually manipulate consumers' moods by showing them different posts, so making them feel sad or happy depending upon what type of posts they saw. Some of the things we've talked about today really outline how marketing has negative ethical implications. But marketing also has very strong positive implications as well. And as it turns out, marketers can't sell consumers products they don't need in the long run. In the long run, when consumers purchase something that they don't need, cognitive dissonance starts to set in, and so they're not likely to continue to purchase something they don't need. In fact, marketers that find products and services that help inspire consumers and demonstrate how they can improve them and provide them with unmet market needs are usually the most powerful products in the marketplace. And there's also been some research that has looked at ethics in marketing and has indeed found that ethical companies, not only is it good for business for them to be ethical, but they also make more money. And so